Is this good? Welcome to my channel, everyone, or welcome if you're new. My name is Katie and I just ran the 2024 Disney Marathon. Woo woo! I've only run one marathon other than this. I ran the Austin Marathon back in 2022. Yeah, 2022 I think. And that was a really good first marathon, but obviously the Disney Marathon is going to be way better than your average city run, at least in my humble opinion. As far as my story goes, I only have one other marathon to compare it to, and I'm just gonna say that the Disney Marathon was a lot better. So as far as training goes, we used a 24-week training program. We used Hal Higdon's 24-week program where you run 3 days a week. So we ran on Tuesdays, Thursdays, and our long runs were on Saturdays. And for our cross training, we did yoga on Mondays and we did weightlifting on Wednesday and Friday. So Sunday was our dedicated rest day. And some weeks we had to switch around the schedule a little bit, you know, but in general, that was our schedule. If you're curious, more curious about our training program, go back and watch the prep video. It's the first video in this series and it goes all over our plan, and we did stick to that pretty well. So we ran 3 days a week, which really worked out for us because we are both, I hate this term, but we are both in very busy seasons of life right now. Chris is very busy with work and school. I am very busy with work and school. So we were not going to be able to run 4 or 5 days a week like we have in the past for other marathon or half marathon training programs. So that 3-week program was really the sweet spot for us. And I mean, it was tough though, like only running 3 days a week for 24 weeks, y'all. It felt like forever. I think the longest training plan I had done was for the Austin Marathon, and I think that was 18 weeks. So 24 weeks was seriously like the last month or two, we were so over it. And I don't want that to sound bad, but we were just, yeah, so over running, even though it was like it was all very much worth it, right? But we are honestly really tired of running right now. Anyway, I'll get into that a little bit more in a minute, but I guess we'll talk about the actual race. After 24 weeks of running, race weekend finally arrived. We left at about 3 o'clock on Friday and drove the 6 hours over to Orlando. We got there pretty late at night with the time change and everything, but we checked into the All-Star Music Resort, which, by the way, was a great resort. There was absolutely no way we were going to be able to afford to stay in a bigger hotel, like a bigger Disney resort, one of the main ones, I guess you would say. So, I mean, these, I think they're called budget Disney hotels, but seriously, it was like a perfectly fine hotel. It was just a normal hotel, and it was great. So we stayed in the All-Star Music Resort. It was great, had a really great experience there. And on Saturday we went to the expo and really just chilled. Chris was feeling sick on Saturday, so that was really sad, but he ended up being able to recuperate enough to be able to run on Sunday. So I think that's all we did on Saturday. We just really went to the expo and chilled and went to bed early because on Sunday we woke up at 2 a.m. to get ready for the race. That's another thing too, is this was the earliest race that we've ever run. It started at 5 o'clock, and I understand they have to do that to open the parks, so absolutely not complaining, but it was just a little bit of a shock because I think the earliest race I run was a half marathon that started at 6. So definitely was a little bit of an adjustment just because we knew that we'd have to get up early to take a bus and then walk a lot and sit in the corrals and everything. So it was definitely an early morning, but it was really exciting, so I didn't even care. But yeah, we got up at 2 and then we got up, got ready, ate, stretched. Thankfully, we had everything set out the night before. We did have to check out of our hotel that morning, so we had to take everything with us, but that's okay. We just left it all in the car, hopped on the bus. I think the bus we took left at like 3:15. I know they were supposed to leave every 30 minutes. We missed the 3 o'clock, so our plan was to get on the bus that left at 3:30 and ended up filling up, and we left at about 3:15, 3:20, and took like the 20-minute bus ride over to Epcot. Arriving in Epcot was really fun because it's the first time that we had like seen a big landmark that was Disney, like that big Epcot ball. Like, I don't really know what to call it. This is kind of embarrassing, but you know, the Epcot thing, ball. So driving up to that was really exciting. And yeah, I hadn't been to Disney since I was 12. Chris, my husband who ran it with me, has never been to Disney, so he was just like, whoa, he was taking it in the whole time. It was fun to see. The next couple of hours after we got there was kind of just basic race prep stuff. We there was like, I don't know, a half-mile walk from where the bus drops you off to the start line. So we did a lot of walking. We dropped off our gear at the gear drop. And then we stretched and just drank water and had a banana and kind of chilled out for a little bit before we, sorry, there's a hair on me somewhere. So we did all that, and then we walked over to the start line and stood in our corral for about 30 to 45 minutes before it was our turn. We were in group D, which I think is the second to last group, and honestly, I have absolutely no problem with that. Everyone we ran with, like everyone who we started with, everyone in our corral, everyone we encountered along the race, like everyone was so friendly and helpful, and everyone was cheering each other on, and it was a very positive experience. So our group ended up, I think it was at like 5:30 by the time that our group actually went across the start line, because I think it was like 5 minutes in between each group, maybe 2 minutes. I think it actually was maybe 2 minutes, but there were a million waves before our wave. So I think we started at around 5:30. As far as the race goes, oh my gosh, we were just taking it in the whole time. We didn't stop to take any pictures with any characters. I don't know, I just like, that wasn't really something we wanted to do. We did, however, take a picture in front of the Magic Castle, so the Magic Kingdom Castle, but that picture isn't on our Disney Photo Pass. Like all of the other race photos are, but that one isn't, so not really sure where that picture is because it was taken by the official race photographers, so it should be part of our race photos, right? I mean, if anyone knows where to find that picture in front of Cinderella's castle, please let me know, because we're missing that picture and I'd really like to see it. Anyway, the race was fine. It was a normal race. And then we got to Magic Kingdom around what, like mile 7 or 8, and it started sprinkling. And then when we actually entered Magic Kingdom, it started downpouring. It was downpouring our entire time in Magic Kingdom, which was like, I don't know, 30 minutes. It was literally just downpouring. We were getting soaked, but honestly, it was kind of fun. Like, that's what I will always remember most from the marathon, is how it downpoured for like 30 minutes. Magic Kingdom was arguably the, you know, the park that we wanted to run through the most. Like, that's probably the most desired park, right? And so I was like, oh, Magic Kingdom. And then it started downpouring. So the whole time we're just like, we can't see, we're getting soaked, our shoes are sloshing with water. Like, it was a lot, but it was really, really fun. Anyway, we ran through obviously the rest of the parks. It was really fun. Yeah, I wish we got to spend more time there, but unfortunately we didn't, but it was nice to at least run through. I guess the rest of the race was pretty normal. Once we finished through all of the other parks, we ended up back in Epcot, and yeah, once we got to Epcot, man, I was pooped. I was so wiped out. I kept telling Chris, like, I cannot stop, because he wanted to just keep stopping to stretch, and I was like, I'm so sorry, but I cannot stop with you, because if I stop, I will not run again. Like, I am running on pure just like momentum. Like, it hurt more to stop than it did to just keep running. So at that point I was like, you stop and try to catch up with me, because I cannot stop running right now, or I will just walk across the finish line. And I didn't want to do that. I knew this was gonna happen, but my Apple Watch did say that I ran it in 5 hours and 19 minutes. And once my Apple Watch said I had reached 26.2 miles, I was like, oh dang, like how much longer is there until the actual finish line? Because I know that Apple Watches are not going to be super accurate compared to the actual course, but oh my gosh, my watch was like half a mile to even like 0.6 behind the entire race. So I knew once my watch hit 26.2, I knew I still had like half a mile, so I tried not to be super discouraged, but around every corner I was like, oh, is the finish line there? No, maybe around this corner. No, dang, okay, maybe around the next one. But then once we finally saw it, Chris and I were like, there it is, and we started running as fast as we could, which after 26 miles is not that fast for us, but we were like, oh my gosh, we have to get there. And then we held hands and went across the finish line together, which was really fun, because in our last marathon, Chris was like 45 minutes ahead of me. So it was really nice to actually be able to run it together the whole time, and especially finish together. Our official time ended up being 5 hours and 24 minutes, which is a 4-minute PR from my last marathon. My Austin marathon was 5 hours and 28 minutes. So a 4-hour PR. I'm gonna say I'm happy with that. It's not what I wanted, but obviously the Disney Marathon is really not for PRs. They said before you start, if you get a PR on the Disney Marathon, you're doing it wrong. There are times that I wish I slowed down and soaked it in a bit more, but I'm also really happy with my time, and I think we had a really good race overall. It honestly felt like a whirlwind though, because I mean, it was 24 weeks of running, and a lot of that time at the end was us being like, oh my god, I have to run again. Like, this is when's the race gonna come? And then race day came and went so fast that now I'm like, wait, did we run it? Like, thinking back now, it's been a couple of weeks, thinking back now, it happened so fast, and I cannot believe that I was complaining in the weeks leading up to it, because race day literally went so fast. And after we went across the finish line, I was like, wait, it's over? Like, can we do that again? So it was actually kind of sad. I know I was complaining a lot in the months leading up, but it was really sad to actually finish it. Anyway, here's my medal. So you have Mickey and Minnie. This part spins, Run Disney. I put my time on the back of all of my medals. Oh, it's already wearing off. Shoot, 5 hours, 24 minutes. So yeah, this was the finisher medal. Woo! Okay, let me know if you have any race suggestions. We are about to move from Alabama in the next 6 months or so. So once I let you know where we're moving to, you can let me know if there's any really cool races around that area. So stay tuned for that. So make sure you subscribe so that you see where we're moving next. But if you have any ideas in general, like cool races, things like that, that you think I might enjoy, please let me know down in the comments, because I'm feeling kind of lost, honestly. I mean, I know I was complaining about the schedule, but now that I don't have the schedule, I'm like, wait, I kind of miss running. It's been 2 weeks since the marathon, and I have not run one time. I was taking the first week off deliberately, and then this last week I just kind of didn't feel like running. But this happens every time I run a race. I stop running, and then I realize I haven't been running, so I sign up for another race to get me to run, and that's my whole life cycle. So I think I want to do just like 1 5-mile run a week. I think that's personally something that I would enjoy. Any more than that, I think would be a little tedious for me. My ideal workout schedule from here on out, that I'm not training for anything, is 2 days of Pilates or yoga, 3 days at the gym, 1 dedicated run day, and 1 dedicated rest day with walks and things in between that. So that's what I'm going to be doing for the time being. But like I said, if you have any suggestions, things that you think I might like, things that you think I might want to train for, please let me know in the comments, because I am very much open to suggestions. I'll put in some clips right now of like pictures and videos that I may have not put in the actual marathon video, because I didn't think they would really fit very well. So here is a random collection of pictures and videos that we took during the race, and I hope it conveys just how fun and magical of a race it was. So anyway, I will sign off here. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure to like this video, subscribe down below, and enjoy the rest of the pictures and videos from our marathon.
Whoa, that's wicked. Off the arms.